Hey crew, what up? Taylor Welch here. Have you ever wondered how traffic and funnels grew so fast? I mean, 4 years ago, the company was nothing. Nobody knew who we were. We didn't have any revenue, no clients, no products, no content. And we noticed really quickly that we had something special, but it's not just that Chris and Taylor are special. There are processes, recipes, concepts, materials, foundational strategies that have allowed us to go from 0 to 8 figures in about 3.5 years. And one of the things we do that's really cool, and I think it's really fun for a lot of our clients, is we publish our learning lessons every single month. It's about 8 to 10 pages. In fact, the most recent one was a little bit longer. We talk about how to hire, how to find people, how to run advertising, our recent marketing tactics, some of our strategies for sales. We cover every element of how to grow a healthy, predictable, successful, and most importantly, growing client business. And people rave about this. We've got almost 6,000 people subscribe to this every single month. And we'll actually ship it to you, maybe your office, your home, wherever you tell us to ship it to you. And every single month, we include some extra perks to it, sometimes audio content, sometimes some video content. It's one of the best programs that you can be in, I think, in the world if you run a client business. And the best part is it's very, very affordable. We've tried to price this at a level that anybody can be a part of it who needs it and who wants it. So you can check it out at trafficandfunnels.com/IAM. IAM, basically Insiders Access Monthly, IAM, trafficandfunnels.com/IAM. We'll send you out the first package as soon as you hop in. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most fantastic ways that you can learn from the mistakes and the growth curves of other people. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Talk soon.
You're listening to the Traffic and Funnels Show, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, and conversions. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
If you get around people who are successful, you should always ask them how they think. I know me and Chris, when we're sitting down with people, we're always asking them, hey, what are your goals for the next 12 months? How do you think about this? It's like, there's no greater feeling than people getting around and all of us talking about how do you think in borrowing. Why don't you answer that question?
Business goals?
For 2020, yeah. I've got my goals written up on the board, but I'm not going to show anybody.
One of my goals is to replace the sales team.
Talk about that.
Yeah, so, we're always looking at how we can be diverse in our business, our assets, investments. And so our business has been primarily built on becoming really good at selling on the phone. But yeah, I think for the future and where we're going, we want to be diverse enough and have enough redundancy to where our marketing team is so good that we can drive enough revenue to replace what the sales team is doing.
And one of my goals is to replace marketing, which is actually a perfectly aligned goal, if you think about it. One of our goals now is to have fun. And not enough people are talking about that because business is fun. It's not always hard. Solving problems is such a blast if you can get the right psychology. Like, think about where you would be and what your life would be and how boring your life would be if the greatest problem you had to solve every day was the person who mobile ordered their double shot, it was late. What if that was the caliber of your problems? Yeah. Happened to me this morning, just saying. I mean, the blessing and privilege and opportunity it is to be able to solve big problems. You know what me and Chris talked about yesterday is every single one of our problems inside of our businesses is a byproduct of growth. How cool is it to be able to say that? We don't have any problems based on, we just, effed up this and we just were lazy here and we just suck here. All of our problems now are byproducts of growth. It's like, well, we have had to hire so many salespeople because of all the leads and we can't train them fast enough. Like, these are growth problems. And I think that people really overestimate this feeling of winning and they underestimate, when Kobe was down by 6 points in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, that is the thrill of the game. It's not being up by 25 points. That's not as fun as coming back from 6 and it was because of you. So everybody's got to kind of fix that. I know that sometimes me and Chris, we want to win and we want to be in a place where it's like, man, we're just destroying everyone. But like, if you look at the barometer of fulfillment, the fulfillment meter is way higher when we have to work for it. And people don't think about that. Kobe wants to have to fight for it. LeBron wants to have to fight for it. Well, in LeBron's case, he just sits out games because of his knees. But Kobe fought for it.
Yeah. I also say, like, I want to be 90, 95% in the enjoyment pocket.
Yeah, tell us more.
If you can get to the place where you are enjoying what you're doing, you will exceed your goals.
Yeah, and if you don't, at least you're having a blast.
Yep.
You'll exceed your goals long term, even if you miss them short term. It's a big difference, man. In fact, most of our goals we don't hit short term, but because we're enjoying the process, and our risks of not hitting them long term is really low. Any tips on how to find problems in a niche or on how to find product market fit?
You talk to the market.
Talk to the market. Get them on the phone.
Crazy.
Get them on the
Crazy
phone.
how simple it is. Yeah, you go and talk to the market. Either you get on the phone with them, or you send them messages, or you find out where the market is and conversations they're already having.
Dave says, how do you think about your setbacks? Can you walk through your mental framework for these? Well, Dave, sometimes I don't like setbacks. I think it would be a lie to be like, we always love setbacks. You know, like Chris lost a team member in July. Man, I may be wrong here, but I don't think you particularly enjoyed that.
In that particular situation, yeah, I think the setback I initially thought was I'd invested so much time and energy into a person, and then that's all gone to waste now.
Yeah.
So to me, it was looking at it as a learning opportunity to not do that again. So really, that's, I think, how I look at setbacks, and probably you as well. It's like, where is the learning lesson, and how do I grow from this? And how am I better next time?
Dude, a great way to think about this is like when we look back, like the biggest challenges that we've had, the biggest setbacks that we've had, it's always made us better. It's always made our business better. Where would you be without any setbacks? It's like you just be this weakling little excuse of a person, you know?
And dude, from that situation, everything is better. I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like I'm a way better leader. I think the team is way stronger.
Yep.
We're moving faster towards our goals.
Yep.
So it was like, you sent me a message a few days ago, because there were other things that happened in that month, and you're like, those things happened for us.
They were a gift. I was like, man, they were such a gift. They happened for us, not to us. This is like, people have to learn how to warp their psychology, and warp sounds bad, but it's actually good. Manipulate their psychology to an empowering place. And there's nothing more empowering than something bad happens and you say, what a gift. Thank you. Yep. Let me deal with this. Let me fix whatever is wrong with me or whatever's wrong with the system. And for real, like if you think about who you would be and where you would be if you had nothing go wrong, if you had no setbacks, I think about some of the weakest people today. And I say that very derogatorily.
Shocker.
So the weakest people that I've ever met that are just like, man, it's just, they bring the average of the entire society of the world down. And without fail, they've had nothing bad happen to them. They have no pain. They've had no problems. They've never had to deal with significant setbacks. And then I think about the people that I look up to the most and the people closest to me that I respect the most, and whether they make more money or not doesn't matter, but I respect them and their thinking. And it's like, man, they've gone through setbacks and pain and trauma. And dude, you and your family, you've gone through setbacks. And it's like, man, I have such a level of respect for people who have gone through the trenches and can look back with gratitude rather than looking back and being like, why did this happen? If you're thinking, why did this happen? Like, you're weak. You need to get out of yourself and go up to the 30,000 foot view and really look at, without weights at the gym, you would be weak. Without having to run, you would be weak. Without having to go through setback, you would be weak. Everything happens for us, and people get that backwards. That's how I think about setbacks.
Yes.
Dave. Has TNF always had central offices, or did you used to allow employees to work from home? Why the change, if so?
We have not always had central offices. Some people still work from home, but we are working on relocating everybody into an office. What are your thoughts on that?
Me?
Why we're doing that?
Because if you come into the Nashville offices and I don't rub off on you, it's because you're blind or deaf. Like if you come into the Nashville offices and the sales team doesn't give you energy, I mean, you know, I think a lot about energy. In 2018, I try to pick 1 or 2 things to study per year, and I go pretty deep into those things. In 2018, it was all about leadership and energy. And there is nothing that can impact energy more than proximity and environment. Proximity, environment. It's like, man, when you get around somebody who's a vortex and they just like, you know, the power center of that person is so high. They have such high vision, such high standards. Their distinctions in their life are so specific for what they want. And you are going to have that rub off on you. And so it's very hard to do that over Zoom. But even in Zoom, you could probably feel it right now. I'm yelling at you about standards and vision and how awesome life is. Like you can feel a little bit, but if you were in the room with me, it will be glowing on you. And that's why ultimately we made the decision to try to bring everybody local from remote. Not because we wanted to harness control